So are you guys ready to break down this John and Calico fiasco? Real quick, let me just get a joke in right quick. Hey man, this shit reminds me of R. Kelly, Usher song, Same Girl, real quick. Y'all got disgusting out there, man. But let's stay focused. My brother Smo, my brother Lang in the building. You feel me? Let's have some battle rap, fellas. Real quick. Smo, let me ask you a rip. Are we getting too many announcements? I see a lot of conversation about too many announcements at one time.
You know what? It's a rare occasion where I think because of, the morale being low, I think that it is kind of cool because I've never seen no announcements. Like in terms of a 7-day span, it's probably the most announcements at this level that we've ever gotten. But they should space it out a bit, and that's the thing is when we talk about battler ran leagues, the big thing was, when battlers run the leagues, there's going to be more communication, right? We're not going to overstep on each other and use the same talents. That's exactly what they're doing. Now, I think that the events are still going to play out good. I just think that was kind of bullshit. They complained about that for so long, but I'm looking, it's a bit much. It's a bit overwhelming. It's got to be a little bit confusing for the consumer. But since this is the only time this has ever happened, there's also we're excited too, you know what I mean? But I agree. I can understand for a regular fan, maybe someone that's not as tapped in as us. How do you know what's where, what's, what I'm saying, what's going on in this league? You just see flyers popping up, especially when they're doing single announcements. If you dropped your full card, that would be one thing. That'd be a day about your card. But when everyone's dropping 2 to 3 announcements a day from different leagues, it's a lot. But I'm excited. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Man, what you got with it, brother?
Yeah, no, I think that in the words of the Family Matters theme, it's a rare condition in this day and age, you know what I'm saying, to get all these announcements. But I agree, though. I mean, I still have a level of excitement. I honestly didn't think about the aspect of them overlapping as much. Now, granted, I know that this is in the spirit of competition, so I honestly prefer it this way because then every league owner / battler is going to want to have the best event, and every event gets magnified more and more and more. Like the Power Moves card and Chilla's card is a week between each other, and you have T-Top's card, and then you still have Bags and Bodies versus the Riot not too far away from now. I'm excited, man. I mean, I really have no grievances with this because we haven't had a gold rush. I'm gonna call it a gold rush. We haven't had a gold rush like this in quite some time.
Ever? Have we ever had this? I don't remember ever having cards like this dropping like this. Ping, ping, ping. I don't remember this, Lang.
Not from so many different leagues. I think we've had a multitude of cards that were announced in 2021. It gives me a 2021 feel in terms of just the production. Really but I think the reason why it feels overwhelming is because it's from so many different directions. You're talking about P-Top, TBL, Power Moves, QB. It's just so many different cards. The Carolina card as well too.
ABCD. That's the other thing is people are announcing. It's not like just the March events are getting announced right now. They're announcing the March events, the April events, and then ABCD is dropping announcements that are not to the fall. You know what I'm saying? Which is I don't know why they're doing that. I think John commented on your interview. It's yo, we're not battling until September or October. Why are you dropping our announcement right now? It's going to get lost up in the mix. So I remember when we did the Av and Verb cancel videos, there was people commented I didn't even see it get announced because people were there trying to announce it, and then it was canceled, and then it wasn't canceled. Whatever the hell's going on over there. But I agree. It's a little bit. They should space out the announcements. Very cool that all this is happening. Very cool, but everyone should get their time so we can have a week or 3 days to talk about each card and give it its proper credit.
Lang, did people feel the pressure of the Nitty Daylight announcement?
Well, honestly, I mean that's one of the bigger announcements you're gonna get. What the only
cutting out, brother?
You're cutting out a little bit.
Good. You go. Yeah, I think before you can come back, I think people feel the pressure though. Small. I don't know how you feel about that till we get Lang back in, but I think people did feel the pressure.
No, Nitty and Light is quite the announcement, to say the least. You know what I'm saying? And then you have people that want to match that because they have some. And listen, we've had some other big battles that have come out in the tuck, and then we've had some battles after that have been there's battles people don't know about yet. You know what I'm saying? That one could argue could even match that. So I definitely understand that, but it's also a little funny because it's once you see Nitty and Light, do you really need to put out? Are you really going to follow that? Are you really going to bomb over that? But it's created, there's no question. TBL dropped that, and it's been a complete domino effect ever since for everybody. So,
now you back?
Yeah, can you hear me? Do I sound good?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I was just gonna say that, like, I think that the only concern that I have is that there's a couple marquee battlers that are going to be on multiple cards within a short span. Now, I know we're in a time period where a lot of these battlers are kind of conditioned to battle 2 weeks apart, 3 weeks apart, a month or so. But these are like marquee matchups, though. Like these are like heavy hitting matchups. So that's the only concern I have. But besides that, I mean, I do feel like other leagues saw daylight and they were just like, oh, like now they're trying to spam some of their announcements to kind of get back into the algorithm, if you will.
Small, how do you feel about the inmates running the asylum, so to speak, brother?
Battlers running the leagues. I think it's first of all, I think it's a great thing. There is a lot of leagues, though. You know what I mean? I don't know how many are gonna be here to stay. I gotta keep it real because somebody's got to end up being like the big winners. I hope that I'm gonna support everybody. I know we are, and I hope everybody supports every card. But absolutely. I think I was me and France. Obviously, we always look at the calendar. We're statting stuff up. We got 15 events announced. 12 of them are streamed over the next 2 to 3 months.
Oh, Lord, man.
That's a lot of money. You know what I'm saying? That's a lot. That's a lot of money.
So is it, Lang, I'll get your take on this also. Is it good for the culture to know that itinerary, exactly what's going to happen, so you can pick and choose what event you want to go to?
I think it is, you know what I'm saying? But I just wish that it was a little spaced out. You know what I mean? Like, there's March and April are great, but May and June exist as well. You know what I'm saying? And July, like there's 12 months in the calendar. It's not just March and April. So I wish that they would just space it out a bit more. But I think it's good, especially the ones that are announcing it super early. Because you're getting over a month. First of all, it speaks to the prep time that the battlers are getting, even though, like Lang said, a lot of them are double or triple booked. So it's still gonna be hard for them to like write for everything. But like TBL specifically, because let's be honest, I think they got like the craziest card out here right now. They gave everyone, what is it now, 2 or 3 months, and everyone gets to prepare their travel. Everyone gets to prepare, hopefully, for promo, because it's not just enough with the announcements. I want to let the battlers know that's very cool. We're getting a lot of announcements. Some of you guys need to go out there, make a blog, talk some shit. You got to promo. This is not just promo just because there's a lot of announcements. You actually have to do your job on top of that. But at least, it's like back in the day when you used to get 3 months to travel and to think about it and for the stuff to build up. And I think the overlapping of events hurts that a little bit. I know T-Top's card, I feel like that's the one that, and it has some really good announcements as well. You know what I'm saying? But I think it's tough because you got a Hitman battle and then you got TBL getting announced. But even they gave us pretty much over a month and a half to like plan out. So that's the pro of it. Is like we get to plan out our travel. We get to know what's coming up. But the con is that we got some events sharing the same weekend, and then it's going to be weekend after weekend after weekend after weekend, and that can be a lot. So there's good and there's bad. I can't act like it sways one way or the other.
All right.
I was going to say, but one thing I will say, besides the John situation, this is the most that we've had like just active dialogue about battle rap for a continuation of time. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I'm kind of happy that this is happening. But to that point, though, I do think that there could have been a little bit more spaced out, especially when like you have like the Power Moves event and then the TBL event a week apart from each other. And the TBL event is a 2-day event. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's
2-day event is tiring. I want to go in person, but dog, like two days of 8 battles. I don't know. That's not 2 days of 8 battles is tough. 3.
And one of these leagues, I can't say the name of it. They got a 2-day event also. They haven't announced it yet though. I would have thrown that tidbit in there. I'll let the
that's tiring. 2-day events are tiring from the crib. So it's definitely no joke. So we'll see.
All right, fellas, let's go ahead, man. Bags and Bodies, Hitman, Holla. Which is April 5th, I believe the date is, fellas. Am I right?
I think so.
Nightstand. A la Kings and Queens. Can we say that respectfully to Hitman and everything?
Gents, Kings and Queens, you know what I'm saying? Whatever you want to call it.
How do we feel about mixed gender battles? I never get you brothers' takes. How do you guys feel about intergender battles? Number one,
I think we alluded to it a little bit when we were talking about the Kings vs. Queens Summer Madness crossover. But on the contrary, it was more about them crossing over the event than it was about the actual dynamic of intergender battles, right? I think Smo mentioned this. I think that he was saying that like because we're doing intergender battles a lot more often, it kind of takes away from the allure of it a bit. But at the same time, it's a double-edged sword kind of, because on one hand, you kind of want to make it to where both genders are on the same plateau when it comes to battle rap, right? Like on the same level. But at the same time, it did feel more like a spectacle when it was like a once a year type deal. You know what I'm saying? So, but I personally like the matchup specifically for the Power Moves card. I think that you have a lot of good mirror matches to a certain degree. So I mean, I don't have no problem with the card at all, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I'm fatigued of intergender battles. I'm very like open about that. You know what I'm saying? I think we get a lot. I think we get a lot. But I got to give this card credit. First of all, we know the Hitman had kind of a short list of battlers that he wanted to battle this year, especially if he's talking about being Cody eligible and Cody's requirement going down to 3 battles. So like, I want to see Hitman get there. And then this Hustle battle is one of those. So it only makes sense if he's going to battle Hustle, he's going to do a theme with that as the main event. It's going to be intergender. So I can foresee something like this happening. And I got to give their matchmaking some props because I think the thing that a lot of intergender battles is that it's just randomly top tier men versus top tier women, which isn't bad. Like a lot of the women can't compete, but there are a lot of matchups that I think that's why you get battles where the seriousness or the friendliness kind of goes here and there is because like there's not a lot of buildup. However, for the matchmaking here, I think pretty much every battle has backstory. To where Conviction has been booked before, and stylistically it makes sense. We've been asking for Av and Shayna for how long? Suge and E Hard is a genuine grudge match, and then Hitman versus Hustle is like a 10, 15-year buildup. So if you're going to book it, I think they picked up battles that it's not just because it's men and women, where it's like, oh, look, like they're going against each other. Every battle has a purpose, and even Gorilla and Eon is going to be for Mags and Bot. Like they should be motivated by the fact that they're getting this look. Besides, you know what I mean. So I got to give the matchmaking props. It makes me buy into this card a little bit more. But I am fatigued from intergender matches. But I understand, with your people like Jazz and Hustle. I mean, Hustle actually hasn't battled a woman in over 20 months. I don't know. Hustle's only battling.
We'll get into that. We'll see. We'll get into that.
They've kind of graduated, in a sense, those two, in my opinion, by far the 2 best female battle rappers of all time, 1 and 2. I think that they're at the point where we know they can compete with men day in and day out. So it's a little different for them, but in general, I'm tired of it. But this particular card, they booked really well, so I have to give them the props. And I'm definitely more excited for it than I've been for any Kings and Queens style events in quite some time.
Okay, let's set it off here, man. Gorilla Monsoon, segue. Versus Eon. Obviously, these are both Bags and Body representatives. Right now, they on Twitter right now going crazy. I went on Twitter, Smo and Lang. I said, Eon, you better follow me back for interview, right? Here comes Gorilla Monsoon, L3, F that BITCH. He starts wilding, throwing shots at Shorty.
Well, they battling for interviews.
Yeah,
they battling over anything. Right? I like that. I wish the top tiers would do that too. I want top tiers to have the hunger of someone like that. Just go on and curse somebody out.
Yes.
Today is the day. You know what I mean? So I like that.
So to me, they setting off lovely with the back and forth on social media right now and everything like this. Now, I don't want to be a male chauvinist, lady, so bear with me on certain pics that I got here as me, Small Lang.
They're not gonna like what I have to say.
Yeah, we're not male chauvinists. We love y'all. Okay, we love y'all. All right? Let's get that out the way and everything like this. Lang, Gorilla Monsoon, correct me if I'm wrong. Did he battle in Miami? Was it against Hustle? Right? Small Lang? He just recently battled
the ABCD card. I don't think it was Hustle.
I think it was someone else.
He battled Zeke. The guy's name was Zeke. He did battle. It was a decent. I've seen some Gorilla Monsoon battles.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna act like I'm up here like I'm super duper familiar with his footage. You know what I'm saying? But I think he battled the guy Zeke. It was either Gunhood Zeke or the guy's name was just Zeke, and he was pretty good in that. I've heard him rap a couple times. He's decent. I'm actually a little more familiar with Eon because she's a bit more unique. She screams. I don't know if anybody y'all have seen her, but she's like over.
Yeah.
And she's battled a lot of dudes also in Small and Lang. She's battled a lot of dudes.
I think in one where I'm not overly familiar, but I'm slightly familiar with both of their work. I just kind of, it's a bit of a pick 'em, but I think Eon, if I am, and it might be the only woman I pick on the card, I'm going to tell you right now going into it, but I think that over performative nature might serve her really well on the big stage. But I could easily see it being a toss up because they're both equally as hungry and should want the opportunity. But I could see a world where that nature helps her a lot on the big stage. I might even go Eon 2-1. But like I said, this is more about them proving they're both good. Because if I'm not fully familiar with their footage like that, I know a lot of people aren't. You know what I'm saying? I know I watch a lot of battle rap. So this is an opportunity for them, win or lose. You both got to make a statement. You both got to do something that makes us talk about your battle at the end of the night, because there's a lot of top tiers you have to compete with in terms of noise and who cares about what on the card.
Well, to piggyback what you said, though, Lang, I would think this is the first battle of the night, right? And we know the quote-unquote cliche in battle rap, the first battle of the night sets the tone and everything like that.
Get
So,
the energy, get the
energy and everything.
crowd, yeah.
So, being the fact that Gorilla and Eon are on social media going back and forth to set it off, I think it makes a lot of sense, though. But, Lang, talk to me, though. Well, yeah, George,
yeah, no, I'll also have Eon 2-1. I mean, I just think she's a little bit more dynamic as a battler. You know what I'm saying? I think that I think that with her being dynamic, she also has a real talk element to her raps as well too. You know what I'm saying? So I think that always resonates, especially, especially in a battle where you're trying to kind of in this battle, right? There's people familiar with you, but in some instances, you're also introducing yourself to the masses that aren't familiar with you, right? So I think that element of it, showing a level of relatability, right, means a lot as well too. So yeah, I have Eon 2-1 in a good battle though.
I'm going to Gorilla Monsoon, man. I'm breaking this up. Gorilla Monsoon. I'm going to ride with you, Gorilla, on this one.
Yeah.
So, okay, I could be wrong. I'm going to go Gorilla Monsoon 2-1 just for shits and giggles, man. All right. Smoke, talk to me, man. One of your favorite female battle rappers that you rock with heavy, E Heart versus Shotgun Suge, sir. Floor is yours.
First of all, E Heart is not she's my favorite female battle rapper. I love E Heart's style. And one thing I've always respected, even though it's not going to help for this card, is I think her biggest claim to fame legacy wise is her record against the other top tier women. I think that's where she shines, is that you're not going to find really any of the other top tier women that are just kicking her ass. You know, that's where she's at her best. That's how you build legacy. However, she's not battled very many top tier men. She's actually battled one, battled K-Shine. And that, and that was actually in a setting that probably should have benefited her style. I'm saying COVID style setting. Right. Prime K-Shine, he was on his run. We'll say that. My other big problem, though, going into this battle with E-Hart is it is a grudge match, but it's on a big stage, right? I've only seen her on one other stage of this size. We're talking like 800 plus 1,000 people. That's Summer Impact Reloaded, where her and 40 battled Official and Jazz.
Yeah, right.
That didn't go good either. You know what I'm saying? And I find it difficult when we're talking about, and I always say this, no matter how much of a legend you are, no matter how much we respect you, and I always use the Big K example, and I'll use it because it just happened in this building. If you don't have reps on a big stage, it is tough. Like, it is a whole different element of not just being a rapper, but being an entertainer. It's beyond just being a good rapper at that point. You have to cultivate 1,000 people. That's hard to do in any facet of entertainment or performing. And I think her style in particular can be tougher. She doesn't have the most rapid fire style. It's a little bit more layered. And it would be one thing if she was going up against another pen. She's going up against goddamn Shotgun Suge. You know what I'm saying? Who is an absolute master of the big stage. And we can't even use because he did lose to Shuni on a big stage, right?
He lost to every female he's battled, Smoke. Let's keep it real, Suge. You lost to every female you battled. Coffee Brown, Shuni the rapper. You lost to every female, brother.
He did lose to both of them, no doubt. But I do think that he's in better form coming into this battle. You know what I'm saying? He's coming off.
Trust Suge? Lang and Smoke. Do y'all trust Suge coming up this battle with Easy?
I mean,
I think he's reinvigorated. I think that you have a good reason to.
Okay. Now listen, I've seen Shotgun Suge. Even though I think he's a legend, I've seen him lose quite a few battles in his career. Like, I think that he's also won a lot of battles, but he's not someone that I'm like, oh, he's got one of the best records in battle rap history. So I think that there always is the chance, but he's motivated. Out of all these people that we see double booked, I do not see Suge double booked on any of these cards. I don't think I've seen Suge on another announcement. So this is truly the next battle he has coming up, and he's locked in and talk about what he wants to do in 2025. We saw when he gained momentum in 2022, we saw the run that he went on then. I just think it's a nightmare matchup for E-Hart. I think it's a nightmare. If it was a small room, I'd probably take E-Hart. But this is one where I think the venue completely switches it. And I'd actually go as far to say, if there's any battle that I think could end up as a 30, or I'm worried about being a 30, I think Suge could really get her out of there. Now, I'm going to give respect because I love E-Hart. So I'll call it.
That's what we doing to E-Hart.
Yeah, but I don't understand why we're saying what we're doing when she's only battled on one big stage and they died, and then she's battled only one top tier man and she died. You're not great, but like you got to look at the facts. Like,
the only pushback I was giving you, Smoke, is the 30 part. That's all, brother. The 30
part. It could. I mean, we've seen greats get 30.
I'm talking 30 and
I'm going to call it a 2-1, right? But out of respect. Because I have the utmost respect, and it's a grudge match. So I'm hoping that she brings the best version of herself. Right. But this is what Suge is best at, and this is what she has the biggest question mark on in her career. So either way, I have Suge winning. I'll go 2-130. And some people aren't going to like that. I know how hard they go for E-Hart, man. I know I'm going to get in this. They're me. The space is like, JSMO, why would you? It's disrespectful. I get it. I know. It happens all the time. But I do have Shotgun Suge winning clear going into the battle.
Lang, Holla.
Yeah, I mean, I can kind of echo the same sentiments. I mean, I'm diplomatic, so I'm gonna say 2-1. But I do have Suge 2-1, man. I think that, like I was saying, I think he's reinvigorated. I think he feeds off of big stages, right? So I think that you're gonna find him more or less being more amped up for those big stage outings or whatever. Like if you look at some of his few big stage performances, I mean, the two major ones, he won Body of the Year in those type of scenarios. And I wouldn't be surprised if he's aiming to get another one against someone that's been, calling them out for quite some time. So I mean, the potential for a dominant win is right there for the taking. So I think that E Hart is going to be amped up, and I think E Hart is a student of the game, and she probably learned, because her and Kayshawn was 5 years ago, right? So she probably learned from that in some way, shape, or form. The issue is, to Smoke's point, though, right? But the issue is that she had to learn from that in that environment. We're talking about a big stage, right? And to Smoke's point, pacing matters, timing matters, crowd control matters. I think that she garners respect, right? So there's a level of presence there, but there's just other elements of controlling a room and performing on a big stage that I just think that she has had enough reps in, right? So I think that Suge already has a lot to play with in terms of his special moves, the pocket tap or the dunk or What's Your Life Like or Random. Like those are 4 special moves that can garner like 4 different game makers.
He's a much better writer than he used to be. So you got to.
So he's chain punching now, and when he catches momentum, right, you mix that in with the performative aspect, the projection, just knowing, and the presence as well too. Look at the presence. Just look at the presence. Like, come on, like.
Let me get push back on that.
Yeah.
The point that I made a small second ago about the fact that his brother has not beaten no females.
That's true.
Right.
Are we gonna gloss over that? He lost.
No, for sure.
I'm sorry, you ain't beat no
but listen, shooting.
Yeah,
like it wasn't like Shuni just beat him. Like
Shuni was wild and slow.
And he was pretty decent in that battle, but Shuni whooped him. So I can't imagine that.
And I understand, because I'm a firm believer in track record, right? But stylistically, though, when I look at like the Shuni battle, where she is known to be more aggressive, more performative, higher energy, higher tempo, you know what I'm saying? And that was the best Shuni that we ever seen, you know what I'm saying? So I had that element into it too. It's just that there's so much that E Hart would have to pick up before even getting on the stage, to where I'm just not comfortable making that pick for her. So yeah.
So, like, is this writer versus stage performance? Are we saying that?
I think that, I mean, it's a very simplistic way of putting it, but whether she was male or female, yeah, like I think that's there's so many male battle rappers, even like legends, that I've given that same critique to, where I'm just like, yo, you are like very good. Like it's not to take away from your legacy, but if I don't see you on big stages ever outside of 1-2-1-2, and even you can't even fully blame that on her. 40 is a big reason why that turned out the way it did, right? But that's it. It's not like I could be like, oh, what about the other one? There's not another one. Like she battled in the ring, but even the ring at its peak is not the same as even a building. So it's like,
and even on No Holds Barred, where like it was in an urban plaza setting and there was a multiple people, their battle was considered one of the most underwhelming battles of the card too. So even in a situation where she's battled in front of a lot of people, like, yeah, it's just again, it's hard to go with E Hart, especially with like just the track record of like their big stage performances. So I think Suge 2-1 is the route to take.
All right, Suge, I got you being your first female 2-1 to all these points these brothers made right there. E Hart, I love the diss track back in the day with that Poster Boy track she had coming at Suge back, and actually liked the joint a lot and everything like that. Suge, I'm hoping you taking the momentum of the.
But here's the thing.
I'm shot with a shotgun. I'm not stuttering. I mean, I think she's gonna have some stuff for sure.
Yeah.
Man, you know what I'm saying? And I love E Hart. I hope that I'd love to be wrong, but just facts are pointing me in the other direction right now.
So Lang, if E Hart wins a battle, Lang, are we gonna be shocked? Because I won't be shocked. I would not be shocked. I'm gonna throw it out there. I would not be.
I mean, considering what Suge is coming off of, I would be like, I would go, I wouldn't be like shocked per se. But here's the thing, right? If I'm E Hart, right, and again, I'm not a battler, but if I'm E Hart, I'm looking at the people that went against Suge, and even people that are like of her prototype, for example, i.e. JC versus Suge on the big stage in Philly or whatever. I would take some of the things that JC implemented in that battle to kind of beat Suge, who was pretty explosive in the opening round. You know what I'm saying? So I would study the other people that's went against him, some of the approaches that they took, because I'm not going to act like Suge has the best record on big stages, but we're just saying he has more reps. So Yeah, because I think that would be a good, because JC was one of the people that you would say is more on the pin side. And then that year he kind of turned the corner and figured out a couple of things with the pacing, with the presence, with the interactivity and stuff like that.
Yeah,
So
he smoked him. That wasn't just no regular win.
right.
He really got after Suge up there. So I agree. But I just think Suge's in form right now. It's actually one of the more interesting battles on the card, because I have such a strong opinion on it. So I can't wait to see how it turns out.
Okay. So across the board, I'm going Suge, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All right. Next battle, Av versus Shayna Ashley. Welcome back, Shayna Ashley. Mother Shayna Ashley. Let me just say this off. Let me just say this before I hand it to your brothers and stuff, man. I'm not expecting this to be Rosenberg Raw with Shayna did the Rosenberg Raw. I'm not expecting that at all. Love you, Froze. Talk to me. So, how you feel about Av and Shayna Ashley? Man?
I like this. I like this battle a lot. Right. I think Shayna probably, it's tough with Hustle there too, but I think Shayna might have the best delivery in female battle rap. I love the way I love her power into her delivery. And one thing that I think she's probably better than Av at is actually like rapping.
Bars?
Like the actual rap, like in terms of the bar, like I think Av has better bars. Like if we talk about like the punches, I just think he can go, he
flow and cadence.
But I think when we're talking like, flow, like just rap, like the rapping part always gets forgotten. I feel like I have to overemphasize it because people don't know what I'm saying. But yeah, in terms of the actual rapping that she does, I think she's fantastic. I think she's going to catch pockets on that stage. She's someone else that I worry very similar to E Hart, doesn't have a ton of reps with that many people in the building, but I think that her style is so much better built. You know what I'm saying? Even though Froze, that's probably half of the amount of people that'll be in the building for this, she took that crowd over. She was damn near, if Geechee didn't do what Geechee did, she would have been performer of the night. So the only problem is that it's Av. You know what I mean? So that's we talk about people that are in form. Is there anyone more in form in battle rap right now than Av? You know what I mean? But out of all the women, there's a couple women that I think truly have a good shot. I'd say 2 or 3 that I think have a good. I could see her competing. Like that wouldn't shock me as much. I don't want to say I'd be like just shocked if E Hart was able to compete, right? But with Shayna, I'm looking at it like, yo, at her peak, if she brings 3 rounds, because I didn't like the Prestavia battle. I think most people ended up having her winning. I didn't like it. But outside of that, her Tori Doe material, crazy. Her QB material in the first round of that tournament, crazy. She ended up having to drop out of the tourney. Froze material. So her material has been really good every time I've seen her for the most part back. I think she's going to be very good. And I think I still have Av because I got to give, how you bet against Av right now? You know what I'm saying? So I got Av 2-1. And this is one that I said could be 2-1 or 30. But the more I thought on it, I really like Shayna's chances here to make it competitive. So I still got to have. I know the ladies will be mad at me because how do you bet against this? These people are out here. He didn't lose a round. He lost rounds. But that's their favorite thing to say. You know what I mean? It goes to show how good he's been rapping. But I think he'll definitely lose one probably in this battle. But I think Shayna's very built very well style wise for the big stage, and I think it'll be one of the better battles of the night.
Any concerns about this is the first battle for motherhood? Taking care of a child, a newborn, and writing bars, and that. Let's. I hate to go in a minor.
Yeah. I think ring rust plays a factor. When Coffee came back, she had ring rust, and it didn't help that she was going against Twerk. You know what I'm saying? Prestavia came back against Shayna Ashley. And we said that battle was slightly underwhelming as well too. But even with that, I still see a world where she can make it competitive, right? To Smo's point. I also look at the track record of Av in the first round. He kind of does like a filling out process, you know what I'm saying? Just trying to test the water, see what works, see what doesn't. And then he kicks it up into gear once he gets punched in the mouth in the second and third.
That's true. You don't like to hear that, but that's true.
I do see
super fact.
Yeah, and I do see a world where Shayna comes out the gate swinging or whatever, especially if she sets the tone, you know what I'm saying, goes first and sets the tone. I think that the build up anticipation to hear her rap, since she's kind of been gone for a while, is there, right? So I can see a world where she for sure takes the first and Av takes the second and third, just out of with better conditioning and just better, just better pacing and whatnot. But I do think it's a battle that can be competitive. And again, this was one of the mirror matches I was talking about in terms of the presence that they have, in terms of them being more on the punch heavy side, the aggression, you know what I'm saying? So I really like this battle. And I think they're both are not going to come to play, because I feel like when you're talking about Shayna Ashley, this is one of her biggest battles you can name in quite some time. And on Av's side, right, he is just racking up plates at this moment. You know what I'm saying? And he's taking every plate seriously. And I don't see him playing with Shayna Ashley.
Smoke has bad news coming up. Are you concerned about bad news and then Shayna Ashley back?
He actually got a few. You got to think he battled Excel.
Yeah.
I did not get to see it. That was actually TBL's first card of the year. I heard he beat Excel. Not too shocked on that one.
He had a solid performance.
He's got bad news. He's got some other stuff. You know what I'm saying? That the public might not know about yet. So he's going to be a busy man as well. I'd say a little. But the thing is with Av is he's not someone that volume has ever like really killed him. Like he's not someone. I don't know if I've ever seen Av choke. Maybe if I really dug deep in the crates, we could find.
He's never choked. I think the closest you've seen him, he cut a round short, like against Clips in the third. But like even that wasn't really a choke. He already rapped like 2 minutes or so, or something like that. So he never really.
That you just don't have to worry too much about that. And I also think for the most part, he doesn't have any ops that are like super. You know, we'll talk about Twerk in a minute. God damn, you know, Twerk's got just hell's row in terms of ops. I feel like Av is like quite a bit better than most of his schedule. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm expecting him to very clearly beat Bad News without having to expend like too much energy doing it. And with Shayna, I would debate that maybe she's the best opponent that he has coming up and might have his full focus. And kind of the inverse of what you said about Suge earlier, 3. He's undefeated versus the ladies. He beat Official and he beat 40 bars on Queen of the Ring Judge Battle. You know what I'm saying? So I think it's Shayna's toughest challenge since returning. Maybe one of her toughest challenges ever if we're keeping it a stack.
Are you worried about stumbling with Shayna, choking, laying small? Are you worried about that?
She had a little bit of that in the Prestavia battle, and technically that was off return as well. She didn't battle for a minute before she battled Prestavia on that card. I'm a little less worried. I think with anyone that hasn't been on the big stage, because it's not just about memory. There's things on the big stage that can throw you off. I think that's what causes chokes or whatnot more than anything, like the crowd talking through. Because let's not forget, this venue got a lot of flack for the crowd talking through rounds. How are you going to handle that if you haven't been through 800 people?
Please up, man. Jeez.
Yeah, but I'm not really worried about them memory. Well, I got a lot of respect for them as MCs in terms of just like not choking. But I could see that throwing the pace off a little bit. I don't know, man. I'm confident in having this one. I'm not worried about him stumbling too much. I'm not worried about the quality. I really think they're both going to be great. But if you're asking me who will I take with both of them fully locked in and near their peak, I'm taking Av. So I'm going to go Av 2-1 on this one too. But like I said, this is almost like a dark horse candidate for Battle of the Night. It's not my Battle of the Night pick. We'll get into that.
Sleeper pick?
Yeah. Like I think this joint's going to be really good. I think this is going to be a really, really good joint.
Av 1-0 on Bags and Bodies, throwing it out there. Either here or there.
Also, you know, and in this building, he's 1-0 in this building.
A-Ward. Next battle, my battle of the night. Yes, I'm calling right now. This is my battle of the night. MLANG and Smoke. New Jersey Twerk versus Vixen, man. I got a battle of the night. Let's look at Vix right quick, fellas.
Yeah.
Rock, Chilla, Nitty, right? I thought she clearly beat Nitty, which I'm shocked till this day. I'm still shocked about. I love you, Vix, but I'm shocked. I'm gonna keep it tall. All right. She Chilla Jones. You know what I mean? Some people had to beat in Rock. You know what I'm saying? Some people just did and everything like that.
Her only real blemish is the A-Ward battle, but A-Ward was in like rare form that night. So
yes, like rare form. You know what I mean? Talk to me, Smoke. What we doing? Twerk and Vixen, man.
Yeah, and listen, I think she's gonna do great. You know what I mean? Now that she has to fight some demons up here, right? Because you got to think the last 2 times that she was on a big stage was not just A-Ward, it was Jazz. And this isn't Jazz in New York. You know what I'm saying? That this isn't quite that, but this is still like, I mean, you're getting New Jersey Twerk on a big stage. And last time he was up here, damn near Performance of the Year. So she loves her some tough fights. You know what I'm saying? And I think last year, even with the limited schedule, she really popped out. The official battle's great. I think we all have her beating Nitty. I don't know if we all have her, but I had her beating Nitty as well. And a good Nitty at that, you know. And then I think that she clipped 40, you know what I'm saying, on Black Ice. So she put off a slew of good performances. Shout out Doc. I will say, though, it's Twerk, but this is the big thing for me, right? It's another one where if they're at their peak, no disrespect, I would take New Jersey Twerk, but the door's open on this one because Twerk is battling Kid Slade. He's got Kid Slade coming up. He's got T-Rex coming up. He's got this, and then a week after this, he's got A-Ward, and that one. I mean, they all matter a lot to
A-Ward battle. I'm sorry, Twerk. We know the A-Ward battle,
and that's a week after. And this is someone who, even though we know he could write on one day's notice, and he can do this, I've also seen him. It goes the other way. You know, I'm not. It's been a while since he's like. But you look at the start of last year, he had 3 battles that he kind of back to back was like choking or slipping up in.
Is this dangerous for Twerk, Slang, and Smo this battle?
Yeah, this is extremely dangerous. These are all tough fights. Kid Slade is a tough fight.
Yes,
and that's the one who'll probably be the most favored in. T-Rex in New York, and I know that it is borough, and so that's what New York loves to do. It's in another borough, so like it's not a home game. Yes, it is. You call Carolina a home game for Swamp because it's North Carolina. It's from South Carolina. Yeah, New York. I don't care if it's Brooklyn. I don't care if it's Harlem. It's a home game for you guys.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But so he's got some tough fights coming up. But Vixen's explosive. Vixen's been in good form, and she's got to want to defeat those big stage demons. I think she might have the best shot of any lady on the card. Besides Keon and Gorilla, but in terms of the top tiers, I think she is the best bet just because I think Twerk has to be so many places at one time. Now, with all that being said, I have Twerk 2-1 because this is the last year of Champion of the Year, and I think that's motivating a lot of battlers. I think that's the reason a lot of these battlers are booked like this. I think that's the reason that a lot of them want to go be great. And he's someone that was very up there. He came down to a fan vote. If the fan vote went differently, he would have been our 2023 Champion of the Year. You know what I mean? So I could see him going on a run again. But like I said, this is going to be the one where I think you get him at 70 or 80%. And 70 to 80% Twerk is very dangerous. I think that's what he was at for Pass, and he whooped Pass. You know what I'm saying? But Vixen has proven at 100 that she can hang with Tay-Rock, that she can hang with Beat Rum Nitty. I mean, she kind of got chill out of here. You know what I'm saying? I'm going Twerk 2-1, but I'd even say Twerk 2-1 edge because I think Vixen is going to really, really, really compete. I like her chances a lot in this one.
Yeah. And like I mentioned before, I mean, I think the only real blemishes when you're talking about Vixen going against the male counterparts is Loso and A-Ward. So maybe she needs to stay away from the Horsemen. You know what I'm saying? Maybe that's what it is. But no, man, I think this is a dope battle. I think it's another one of the situations where I think Miss Hustle gets the claim for the best female performer, but I don't think Vixen is that far behind from her because I think they both can perform at a high level. I think they're both are people that feed off of the energy. You know, once they land the explosive haymaker, you just see their energy rise after that and their momentum rise after that. But if I'm being real, man, I'm kind of worried about Twerk's schedule, right? Because I already think that Vixen is already dangerous, and I think that she's probably one of her best forms, honestly, if we're considering everything in terms of like the people that she's faced and also the performances that she had. A lot of us considered her Rum Nitty performance to be one of her best performances in her career, right? So I'm taking a shot here in the dark. I got Vixen 2-1. I think Vixen is going to be extremely, extremely on point in this battle. And as far as I'm concerned, I don't see her in any other marquee matchups before this battle at all, too. She's already doing her promo game, right? You know what I'm saying? But again, I obviously I wouldn't be surprised if Twerk wins. I mean, because you know he's also a person that has wrote in the night before and gave you his first round against Clips. You know what I'm saying? So he for sure can put it all together if he really needs to. But again, I have to go with a person that is not only locked and loaded, but is just in her current form right now. And there's no putting something in the purse and putting something in the baggie with her. She's going to give you 110% effort in this battle. So I got Vixen 2-1 in a good battle.
Wow. Damn. Wow.
That's a bold take. The Boss had that take too. Boss got Vixen 2-1.
So let me say this though. Going into the Nitty battle, right? I thought the conversation was Nitty was going to kill her. Nitty was going to obliterate her and everything like that, right? That didn't happen. Now I'm going to give Vixen this, man. If that woman is able to beat New Jersey Twerk, bro. First of all, when we do these conversations about Jazz, Hustle, Heart, 40, Coffee, and them, Vixen gotta be right there by now. She gotta be in a conversation with these ladies. I mean, she has to be, right?
I mean, she got a belt. You know what I'm saying? Like this is. I think the one thing that put her back was definitely that run between Jazz and
A-Ward.
The Jazz and Ward one put her back for a minute. I think that her confidence was shot a little bit, so I think that's why she got. But before that, she was in the conversation, and then there's no question that when you look at the top 4 people that'll be voted on for Rhodey, I can speak on that, and it's not a comp. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't got to say on that one. But I think that she's like a lock for the top 4 women. You know what I'm saying? Battle rap this past year, and that's with a way more limited schedule than the rest of them. She only had 3 battles, and look what she did with it. So. No question about it. The one thing that I always think she needed to do was holding her back is that she just used the same flow. And I think she gets caught into that where she's like, like she, and that can Taylor. She gets a little bit repetitive, but I think she changed that up versus Nitty. I think she changed that up versus 40. I like when she gets in those different flow pockets as a puncher, she just has like the creative factor to be better than the rest. Like she just says more fire shit than most people. And then on top of that, she is an explosive performer. You know what I mean? So I completely agree with you. I think that she's carving out like a legendary legacy. It's hard to say that in real time. They want to, because like time determines if you're a legend or not. But when you start looking at her body of work, a lot of people that you consider like the best females ever or most legendary, she probably is better on a big stage than them, or she's been better versus top tier men than them, or that she has a Wody belt and most, there's very few amount that have a Wody belt. You know what I'm saying? So I'm totally with you right there. She's one of the best that the game has to offer, and she's one of the few that can battle men and women. Like I spoke about Jazz and Hustle earlier, and there's really no difference. Like you can be confident in her, really, no matter the situation or stage size. So I got the utmost respect for Vixen.
I'm going to talk 2-1 though. I'm going to go talk 2-1, but I'm not saying on my chest though. And I think I share the sentiment the gentleman just talk about Twerk's schedule, man. That is rough, bro. I'm not gonna lie to you, but I'm gonna Twerk, man, 2-1.
And if he goes 4-0,
yeah, that's crazy. Yeah. Well, let's go if Twerk beats Vixen, though. I mean, that's all right. He battles Rex first, right?
Yeah, well, I think that they already announced that him and Slade is getting rescheduled. I think that's going to be in February. So he's going to probably have Kid Slade before he has any of these battles. And then he's, barring that doesn't get delayed once again, then he's got Rex, then Vixen, then Ward. So it'll be in that order.
I like that schedule. I like that schedule, brother.
And Rex in New York. Oh, yeah. No, I guess these are not
easy. Man, talk to me, man. Miss Hustle versus Hitman Holla, sir.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. So when we were talking about matchups for Hustle and Hitman early on in the year, there was other matchups that I was thinking of. Now, granted, I know there was rumblings about them trying to make it happen on their own, but I think I've grown to like the battle a little bit more than it was initially announced. I don't know if it was because of the hour-long space that they had, and I had nothing to do that night, so I listened to it all. But I think that the fact that Hitman is seemingly, I mean, he's usually motivated for every battle, but Hitman is seemingly motivated in this one particularly because Hustle has kind of ruffled his feathers a little bit. And with this being, in my opinion, I think there's no discussion. I think this is Hustle's biggest match of her career. I think the stakes behind it got me. Yeah, right. So I think the stakes behind this battle has gotten me behind the battle a little bit more. Best male performer versus the best female performer of all time. So that aspect of it too, that plays a role as well too.
Does it? Does it though?
In my opinion, it does. I mean, I think when you have stuff like that, like when you look at like when the Cody versus Wody card that they had on the Riot, like that got us behind the card immediately, just because there's a theme behind it, right? So in this matchup, I think about that heavily. But if I'm being transparent, I have Hitman 2-1 clear. I think that there's a level of, I'm trying to phrase this the right way. I'm trying to phrase this the right way. I think that there is a separation in presence, performance, and stuff like that. And also, I do think that Smo's favorite point is separation. Yeah, I think there's a separation in performance, crowd control, and stuff like that. I think Hustle has great crowd control, great great presence, and all that. But I think Hitman just. He's the best to do it, in my opinion, on a big stage. And then when you look at the fact that I think that Hitman kind of alluded to a couple things and saying, I'm going to talk to you a certain way. And to Smo's point, Hitman is one of the better anglers you can find on a big stage, in a small room and stuff like that. He doesn't even have to go in the money talk bag if you don't want to. There's other things that he can touch on as well, too.
And if you the money talk back.
No, I say he don't have to, but he's 80% sure he's going to. But also, I think that when you look at when Hustle do, lose battles, it's typically because someone is breaking her style down or breaking her character down or whatever. And who better to do that than a Hitman on a big stage, right?
He's beaten a lot of dudes though, Lang and Smoke.
She has beaten a lot of dudes. She has beaten a lot of dudes for sure. But I think Hitman is just extremely dynamic on a big stage, and like his style never really changes regardless of the environment. He doesn't have to change anything, regardless of if he's on a big stage or a small room. I have Hitman 2-1. But if Hustle was to win, I mean, generally speaking, I can't be surprised because, again, like you mentioned, her track record against the men is incredible. I had her beating Tay-Rock, I had her beating Chess, I had him beating Averb. You know what I'm saying? So she has quite the resume in terms of like her track record against the men. I just think that this is the best one that she's going to face on a big stage. So yeah, I have Hitman 2-1.
So what you got, brother?
Battle of the Night.
Okay.
And this is something else I really got to give Hitman credit to, because something I did not like that he did in his career for a while is that he would be signed on to be the main event, but he wouldn't go last. And I understand like logistically why he would do that. I remember I think I had an interaction with him in the timeline where we talked about that, but I was never the biggest fan of it. But now I feel like for years now, and that was something earlier in his career, you know what I'm saying, more so. But for years now, he's done really good at going last and still being like one of the most powerful battles of the night. Him and Ill Will went last. Won Battle of the Year, and then him as Geechee went last on Power Moves, and I don't think it was Battle of the Year simply because Lux and Nitty exist, but it was my second best Battle of the Year. So I'm confident always in these Hitman battles because his opponents are extra motivated because he is an extreme guy. He's a true end game plate. Like Hustle has worked her whole career, it feels like, up to this battle. So she has every reason in the world to be motivated, and he always handles his business here at the end of the night. So for me, that's the big reason I believe so much in the quality. I'm going Hitman 2-1 as well. Lang made a lot of the good points. She is the best female performer of all time. Some people could probably argue outside, maybe top 5, top 7 performer ever. He is the best. No, he's fought for this crown on multiple occasions. I remember the K Shine battle where that was for the performer crown. And I remember he wasn't supposed to win that battle, and he won that. He won that battle. You know what I'm saying? That was a historic win. I love that one. And
a Rock win too.
And then he probably beat Rock worse than he beat Shine, all things considered, at SM7. And these people are some of our best of our best of our best. And they won that battle for a minute.
Yo, those are 2 big wins, Small, that Hitman could really hang his head on. That I beat.
Yeah, and people, I know that in this culture, like, and I'll be like this too, where you don't want to just keep hearing about the same performance over and over. But I don't think a lot of people remember like the noise around his name going into that Shine
back-to-back SM.
He was supposed to kind of get his ass kicked by Shine. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like I remember him getting booed when he walked to the stage. I remember Shine being better bar for bar and all this, and he completely flipped the table on all of them. And damn near solo. That's prime MWX behind him. It's a battle I have a lot of love for, and I remember watching live. But I think when we talk about Hustle and Hitman, another key thing is that Hustle has been chasing him for over 10 plus years, very loudly.
I've been chasing you. Smoke, that a good thing or bad? You chasing somebody?
No, and then that's what I'm about to say. When we look at battles where somebody's been chasing for 10 plus years,
where's Verb?
When you've been, you know, JC and Surf and you know what I'm saying, Arsenal and Mook, to be recent with it. And we
John Down and Surf too.
Yeah. John Down and Surf, Cortez and Surf to a lesser extent, even though Core fought back a little bit. Like you got to really look at this and be like, well, God, this doesn't usually work out for the person that's been running after you. And especially Hitman, who I think is like a GOAT candidate. Like I think it's debatable who's the best ever, but I think he has a very good case of why he could be the best battle rapper ever. You know what I'm saying? Combination of numbers and quality. So I think it's tough. I think Hustle is going to be really, really great. I do think though, if it's going to be a battle where performance is the emphasis, as good as she is, he's the best at that category. If it's going to be a battle of topics, because when it's a grudge match, you want to hear a little bit of tailored material. She can angle better than I think some people give her credit for, but Hitman, that's his strong suit behind performing, is he's really good at attacking an angle. And bar for bar, it's the one thing where I'd be like, she's probably a better puncher than he is, but he is a better pure rapper than like in terms of getting in the pocket. So I got Hitman 2-1. If Hustle won, I wouldn't be shocked because she competes with the men at such a high level. And at the very least, even though I have her losing to a few men, it's usually always debatable. But I think Hitman's a totally different fight. It's a totally different fight for her, and where she's matched at her peak and he's good at some things that she isn't good at. So I got Hitman 2-1, but I'm very happy. I think the most of this battle, and it should be one of the best intergender battles that we've ever gotten, in my personal opinion.
And he's also a great counter writer too. Like I just recently watched him versus Geechee not too long ago, and I'm just like, anyone else, you know, after Geechee's first round just would have just, you know, like decayed after that, and he found a way to fight back in a grand way. So even in a situation where like Hustle brings good approaches, he might already neutralize that with some of the things that he says following up. You know what I'm saying? So I think of that as well too. So yeah, I do think Hustle's going to be great. I'm always excited to see Hustle on a big stage because she usually lights it up on fire, whether it's against Shuni, whether it's against Arsenal. She has special moves too, you know what I'm saying? She has special moves too. So they you know what I'm saying?
Beat Rock too. If we're, you know, in terms of big wins, she beat Rock as a queen.
Yes.
She got something to hang her hat on.
Now let me ask you a question. All right. going into the Geechee Gotti battle, right? We all felt like Geechee Gotti had a lot at his disposal, right? What do you fellas have between that battle? I don't between Hitman and Geechee. Who you guys have?
Hitman second and third.
Second and third?
Yeah.
I thought Geechee was gonna give Hitman some real work there because
it's a debatable fight. I'm not mad at nobody like Geechee in the first two, but I have Hitman winning the battle.
I want to make sure I give Hitman props on that though, man, because a lot of people thought he might have got his ass kicked in that battle, right? And he didn't get his ass kicked at all. Whether you got Geechee winning or not, I don't think Geechee kicked his ass at all.
They always think Hitman is going to lose before the battle, but this is actually the one battle in years I saw Hitman winning the prediction poll. Years I haven't seen Hitman.
I got Hitman 2 also. I got Hitman 2. You know what I mean? I got love for Hustle, but I got Hitman 2. I know she's going to talk about Verb probably a lot, sentiment bars and stuff like that. So the subject matter, I guess, whatever. I don't got it as my battle of the night though, fellas.
You still stick with Twerk and Vixen?
Yeah, I'm going to Twerk and Vixen in my battle of the night and everything.
I can't be mad at that. And the thing is, I know I'm kind of planning to be wrong in a sense, right? With one of these battles, because like the women never get clean swept. In fact, most like intergender cards, they compete. But with this particular one, I just like for these particular specific women with the specific opponents, I think it's very tough matchups for them. Not that it's not always tough matchups, but especially in these like grudge match, more backstory bookings, I'm going to end up being wrong because I'm always, like I said, with these intergender cards, a woman shocks someone like Shuni beating, you know what I'm saying? Shuni beating Suge, when Rock lost to Casey smoking Verb. I guess we kind of expected Verb to beat women, but like there's a couple matchups like that where they always like a woman does pull it off. So someone's going to do it, but I'm having a hard time figuring out which one, just looking at like the X's and O's going into the battle. So that's why I'm saying there's a couple women I think have a best shot, and it won't shock me if one of them wins because somebody's going to have to. But I'm kind of on the top tier level. I am calling it a sweep for the men, and that's more about my respect for the men in this matchup than it is thinking the women won't be fire.
Yeah, and it's not like I was gonna make a joke and say, now if I seen Fonz on the card, I didn't care who it was gonna be against. No offense, that's a clear win. You know what I'm saying? That's like your ace in the hole right there. So
Hustle, because I had him beating Hustle, but a lot of people got Hustle.
It's a debatable battle. That's one of his more debatable ones. Yeah. Yeah.
Any girls you wanted to see on this card? Any other matches y'all wanted to see on the card? I mean, male mixed gender battles or
I mean,
always Stavia pop out. I mean, she's really got that. She actually got coffee coming up, so that's really dope. But not really. I mean, like I said, like I'm already a little tired of intergender battles, and that's why when they booked this, I was actually shocked at how much I liked it because I'm like, damn, they did a really good job booking it to the point it makes sense. But otherwise, like I don't want to just see like intergender battles for the sake of it. Like I don't just want to see Shooting on the card for the sake of seeing Shooting on the card. If she is an opponent that fits it, like that's different. But I think that they were very careful with how they put matchups together, and this is why I never quickly, like, you know, people were like, oh, we're running out of matchups, this and that's the laziest. Like y'all just don't like love battle rap and really get into it. It's just a cool thing to say so you can blog and be like, it's over, you know, like I know how everyone gets down, but it's just further proof that like if you have a creative mind that really cares, there's always matchups to make. We have infinite matchups to make in this sport. And I think that even me being tired of intergender battles, I got to salute them because they've made this very exciting. And I hope that the rest of the card promos the way Hitman and Hustle are about to.
Like, question about Hitman right quick.
Yeah.
How much credence are you guys putting with Hitman versus Shuni and Farrah? I mean, this is
I mean, I know why you're saying that because I joked about that off camera. That's funny. but I mean,
Shuni and Farrah. The infamous Chicago hotel thing.
Nah, not much credence. I mean, it was a funny moment. It's one of those like, I don't know. It's one of those historic things that you remember, but it's not something I put a lot of stock in for sure. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, and my thing is like, I guess I didn't really have any other matchups I wanted to see on this card because we technically have another heavy intergender battle on a different card, right? So you know, so I guess we're just filled on both ends. So yeah.
I would say before we wrap it up, I know Chilla Jones is gonna drop his full card on this Super Bowl Sunday.
Oh, that's what his plan is?
Yeah, his plan to drop the whole card.
Is he gonna he's probably gonna do little announcements leading up to that though, still, right? Because I know he's still got a couple.
Yeah, he got one announcement he has that somebody want to get the ass kicked, but we'll leave here on that. That dude is gonna. I'm sorry, when that battle gets announced, that guy. Yeah, it's too much for that.
I mean, next week might look like this week, man, because there's still some, T-Top has to finish announcing his card. TBL's got some. I think the only card that's fully out there is Bags and Bodies, and then of course like Tone Bro. I know he's got a couple. Like there's a couple.
The North Carolina card, yeah.
And the Riot and Hitman, Bags and Bodies and the Riot, right?
That's already out, but that's March 1st. I think that's technically what's going to kick. We have one event that's not announced, so I'm not going to speak on it. That's going to.
We also have the
March 1st, is the kickoff, I think.
What about? Hold on, fellas. I forgot Miss Hustle's battling T-Rex.
Yeah, the SVU, and on the 14th. I know it's in February. I'm pretty sure.
The 16th.
The 16th. You're right. It's that weekend. So
that's Snake Eyes and Tex too. That's what everybody's been talking about.
Snake Eyes and Tex.
Snake Eyes, man. So I know y'all going to talk about that.
Snake Eyes and Tex. I think it's also Bonnie and Coffee. As well too. So it's a couple dope matches. It's a 2-day. That's a 2-day event too, if I'm not mistaken.
We gonna be tired, man. These recaps, boy. Let me tell you, these recaps, man. I want to apologize now on this channel too, because there's a couple battles like, well, JSMO is blackballing me. He's ignoring it. No, boss, I'm tired. I'm in the middle of a move, and it's 15 events.
I be feeling bad too because I want to give Wusa love, and I can't get to those battles yet, man. I have not got the Wusa battle yet. I haven't watched. Only watched Jalen Nightwing and Sheet Happens, and I watched what's the other match on there? The other bad I watched on there. I didn't watch Austin. And
Hansel and Dice. You watch Hansel and Dice. And then the whole choking.
I felt Dice won that battle.
I ain't mad at that. You know I had Hansel, but it was a good choice. It was a good choice. But let's hope. We need some more battle of the year contenders, which I hate when people say that. It's goddamn January. Enough. But we need battles of that magnitude. You know what I'm saying? Like there's no reason. We should get a classic. We don't get classics all the time, bro. I'm like you three. I'm very sparing with how I use
that C word. Yeah, I don't mess.
There's too much money out here, and besides Daylight and Nitty, because I already know what that's going to be. You know what I'm saying? But a couple other battles here need to be special too. So I'm sure we're going to be talking again very soon. Man.
Yes, we're going to be talking soon and stuff like that, man. Are you guys going to any events this year? You planning to pop it out? What y'all doing? You don't know yet. You pick it out.
Yeah, I gotta figure out a couple logistics. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I'm pretty sure on Smolin too. We got to figure out a couple things as well too.
I'm in the middle of the move. That's why I've been every time I come back here, I'm recording in a different area of the house because we're packing up. So I really want to pop out to Houston, but I'm gonna be real. And I talked to you about this, 3. It is hard to make good content when you're at the event.
Yes,
I don't get to make content. So it's funny enough with all these events, it actually makes me want to stay at home more. I might not pop out that many times, but I always find a way outside because you really aren't doing media at the highest ability if you don't pop out for a few events. If I really want to pop out for Apollo, but if not, I'm going to find my way outside one way or another. Even if I don't want to, I always do. I get back. So,
are you guys interested in Swamp and Snake Eyes at all?
I knew you was gonna find a way to bring this up. I just knew you was gonna find a way to.
The blog is sometimes their science experiment. Man. They push this guy anytime they can. Jesus Christ.
The boss is killing me. Stop talking about that. What do you want me to do, the boss, for y'all in the space?
No, listen, Snake Eyes.
That's great build up, though.
We got to give Snake Eyes credit. Listen, and first of all, I think he's been winning a little bit more. Then it still hasn't really beat many top tier talents. It's always going to be something I hold against until he does. But he promos good. I mean, listen, the excitement yesterday. Like, look at the space. Like, he knows how to light shit up, and I think eventually it will. It's a matchup that makes sense. They are battling at 2 different levels right now. Like, this guy is Calico in Detroit, and this and that. And I feel like with Snake Eyes, they look over that. They're like, you're just ducking Snake Eyes and this and that. And Snake Eyes the one that turned down the battle. Snake Eyes turned down the battle. I've never seen someone chase and run at the same time. So that's my only issue with what he's got going on right now. But Snake has done he's done great for himself. Me and him, we got our little back and forth. So I got to throw some venom his way as well. But he's really handling his career the right way. It's the most positivity. And if they make it make sense, and if he has a couple more, he's got Nitty coming up. You know what I'm saying?
Man, you can't lose a text, Snake. I'm gonna tell you, yo, Snake, you could not lose a text going into Nitty battle, bro.
And if he beats, and listen, if he beat or even is competitive with Nitty, because you know how it goes where people lose to Nitty 2-1, but they give the best fight of their life and it ends up helping them too. So he's making it make sense. And I also got to say, while I don't think Swamp has to take him by any means, I did just see Swamp pop out on a flyer with Jay Moore. So Swamp is going to have that, and I like it too, but I got a little bit of fairness, even though Snake is the one that turned down the battle. Don't forget that. But if Swamp is popping out versus some of these names, Snake Eyes is a very worthwhile check that is clearly going to be above some of those matchups. So I'm not mad if it goes down. And if it does, I have Swamp winning pretty clearly, but there's energy behind it. You can't deny that. And he's making it make sense. So we'll just have to see if he says yes eventually.
Dang, it's Snake and Swamp and J Moore. Is that a sneaky battle? In terms
I
of
think that I think it's drug talk central. You know what I'm saying? So it'll be entertaining for a niche audience, but it's a cool battle. I think for Jay Moore it's a great look for him. And then for Swamp, he gets to, again, we talked about home games. It's technically not a home game for him, but he gets to go back to the Carolinas, have a good tune up battle in my opinion. So it should be a cool battle.
I think it's gonna either be good or a shit show. J Moore, you gotta make sure you clean, brother. You gotta make sure you clean, J Moore. I love you, my guy, but you gotta make sure you clean.
But hey, that's a big. And listen, I like J Moore's style too, but he can get a bit repetitive. And he battles too much. Battles way too much. He clearly he can't be clean for all this battling he's doing. So people get all mad, and they always say, "Oh, the best way to do your brand is to battle in 7 different small leagues and build up relationships." No, it's not. And he's proof that it's not. You know what I'm saying? You have to be smarter with your career. So I hope that he does good in that battle, but I have Swamp winning that one pretty clearly. And there's Swamp matchups across the board, man. It's going to be, he's getting booked crazy too. He's got Coffee, he's got John, he's got,
if he beats John, though, fellas, that's a nice win right there, bro.
That's going to be the first time in a very long time I predicted against Swamp.
Yeah, John.
I got John winning that one. I think it'll be a tough, and we'll talk about that. I'm sure once we get to it. But that's a very tough matchup for Swamp. I'm not gonna lie to you.
All right, fellas. I guess we talk again when they drop at this point. Can I just drop the whole cards so MLANG and Smoke can get on?
I want to do prediction videos. I'm so tired of this announcement. Like I want to just do a prediction video and get my 1K views on. But it is what it is. We'll get there when we get there. But we'll talk again around TBL.
Absolutely. Thanks, I love y'all brothers, man. I appreciate y'all always, man. Dropping knowledge, man. I appreciate y'all.
Much love, man. As always.
Always, man. Shout out my guys.